Hello, everybody. Elizabeth Johnston here of Own Your Creativity. And today is Tell a Fairy Tale Day. It's a day to celebrate fairy tales. And I'm wondering, did you read fairy tales when you were a child? Or do you read fairy tales to your children now or your grandchildren? Well, way back when I was a child, this is my most favorite one, the Blue Fairy book by Andrew Lang. And there's actually like a whole series based on different colors, the pink fairy book and the green fairy book or something like that. And I remember I got almost all of them and I read almost all of them. But the one that I kept coming back to time and time again was the Blue Fairy book. And so I just wanted to celebrate stories and fairy tales with you because fairy tales are really something that stays with us for forever, really. I mean, they make an indelible mark on us in our childhood and we carry them through the rest of our lives. And that's actually the same with most stories that we are sort of created through in our upbringing. And in fact, we're all made of stories. That's the thing that is the reality, is that we are all made of stories. We understand the world through stories. We understand each other through stories. And then it seems almost like we can't do anything about it. This is who I am because of the stories that I grew up with and that shaped me and formed me. But actually, stories are much more malleable. And that if we decide that we don't like the story we're living, we can change it. And we can create a new story, even just by reframing things. You know, if we see things one way and we don't like that, we'll change it, see what's different over here. And I think that, you know, the stories that we really love, that we carry inside of us since we're children, they actually form our worldview. And as I was saying, sometimes those stories don't serve us, or we've outgrown them, or we realize that there's something more or deeper. And in fact, whenever you go to read a book again or a story again, have you ever had that experience of discovering something new in the story that you hadn't realized before, or making a connection about something in the story that you hadn't realized before? That's when you know you've got really good literature in front of you, is because there's layers and layers and layers. And the more that you read it, the more that you understand from it and the more that you gain from it. So next week, I'm having an event, Tell Your Stories. It's a 3-day event, and you can see it scrolling by down on the screen here. It's a 3-day event, a transformational online retreat for entrepreneurs who want to use more personal story in their business to create better relationships with potential joint venture partners, or to create, you know, that know, like, and trust factor between them and potential clients. And it's 3 days of unearthing your personal stories and finding homes for them in your business. Plus, we also will have this awesome panel of podcasters to come and give us feedback on our stories and our pitches to potential podcasters. So it's a really exciting dimension to our 3-day event. And the link is bit.ly/TYS 2021 if you wanted to find out more information about that. And I'll post the link below this video as well. But before I go, I really want to hear from you. Do you read fairy tales today, either because you just love them still, like me with my Blue Fairy book, or do you read them to your children or your grandchildren? And have you been carrying around fairy tales with you, you know, since you were a kid? So tell me more about fairy tales in your life. So post below and let's celebrate Tell a Fairy Tale Day. Thanks for tuning in.